Hello, my name is Qurratul and I am as your moderator. Welcome to our podcast, and today we are going to talk about English in early childhood education and our experience as future teacher. English has played an important role in our journey, from lesson planning to classroom interaction, and we want to show how it has influenced us personally and professionally.
Hi, I'm Mashitah. In this way, English is not just a subject that we teach, it's a language that connects us with children's parents and other educators. In today's discussions, we will talk about the challenges we face, strategies to make fun of English, and personal experience that shape our attitudes towards the language.
Hello, I'm Siti Aminah. Our aim is to show how learning English has impact our teaching journey, why it is important for all children, and how future teachers can create engaging experience to help young learners enjoy using English. We hope our sharing will inspire and provide practical tips for teachers and parents alike.
Mashitah, how has learning English influenced your journey as a future teacher?
My experience is slightly different. Learning English helped me see the global context of teaching. For example, reading research articles from other countries gave me insights into alternative classroom management strategies and creative ways to teach concepts to young children. It also helped me reflect on my own cultural perspective and consider how to integrate diverse teaching styles into my classroom. Personally, English gave me access to online courses and workshops that improved my teaching skills, from lesson planning to child assessment. I feel more prepared to face a variety of classroom situations because I can learn from educators worldwide.
How about you, Aminah?
For me, learning English was not only about accessing knowledge but also about communication. During teaching practice, I realized that some children respond better to instruction in English, especially when simple comments are combined with gesture and visual. For example, I had one student named Amani who understood English very well and loved using it in preschool. She could speak fluently, follow instruction easily, and communicate confidently in English. Learning English enabled me to guide activities smoothly, manage classroom interaction, and even explain abstract ideas like feelings or teamwork to young learners. I also discovered that English allowed me to collaborate with peers and mentors more effectively in exchanging ideas and receiving feedback that improve my teaching. In short, English has broadened both my teaching perspective and my practical abilities in the classroom.
That was a good point. For me, learning English has been a transformative experience. I remember when I first started learning education terminology in English, it's often a whole new world of teaching method and research that I couldn't access in my native language. English helped me understand international teaching practice, especially in early childhood education, such as how to use play-based learning of or story learning effectively. Beyond academic, learning English improved my confidence in communicating ideas during group discussion and teaching practice. It's allowed me to connect with students, explain activity more clearly, and even interact with parents who speak English. Overall, it shaped me into a more resourceful and confident future teacher. Mashitah, what are your biggest challenges when speaking or teaching in English?
For me, the challenge is maintaining clarity while speaking in English. Children can get confused if the instructions are too long or too complex. So I need to consciously simplify my language. At the same time, I want to model correct English usage, which can be stressful. Another difficulty is balancing language teaching with other classroom responsibilities. I found that integrating English naturally into daily routines like greetings, songs, and storytelling. It helps to reduce these challenges and makes the experience enjoyable for both the teachers and the children. For example, during the recent Hip Carnival, it was a real challenge for me to speak English because I had to talk to the teachers to promote the Aki and Echo books. I felt very insecure speaking English with those teachers, but I am proud that I was able to communicate with them even though my English was not very confident and somewhat broken.
Thank you, Mashitah. How about you, Aminah?
My biggest challenge is feeling confident when conducting interactive activities entirely in English. Young children often respond unpredictably, and it can be hard to adjust my language on the spot. Sometimes I still find myself switching to my native language to make sure all the children understand, especially when giving instruction. However, I try to more on gesture, visual, and repetition to support understanding. Role-playing and games also help them grasp meaning without depending too much on translation. Usually, during when I do some activities in preschool, I use the same words in song and in teaching season so that children can easily remember and recognize the words and their use. For example, I use some song about left and right, and I use those same words as the theme for the day's activity. This way, children could connect the words they sang with the movement or task we did, such as identifying their left and right hands during games. Over time, I noticed that both my confidence and the children's confidence in using English have improved.
I'm agree with your point. Uh, One of challenge I often face is feeling nervous about making mistake in front of children. I worry then if I mispronounce word or use incorrect grammar, children might imitate it. This pressure can make me hesitate to speak confidently, especially during activity where children ask spontaneous questions. Another challenge is simplifying complex concepts without losing meaning. For example, explaining teamwork or problem solving in English to 5 years old can be tricky. I've learned to overcome this by preparing activity carefully, practicing pace, and using visual aids. Mashitah, why is English important in early child education, on your opinion?
I believe English is important because it prepares children for global opportunities. Today, even in primary school, students encounter English in textbook, multimedia, and social interactions. Introduce English in early childhood education gives them a head start. It also fosters cultural awareness as children begin to understand stories, songs, and traditions from other countries. By learning English, children are encouraged to be open-minded and curious about the world beyond their class. Not only that, we as preschool teachers, it is important for us to master the simple English, as actually English is the second language that we must teach them.
Thank you, Mashita. Aminah, do you have any opinion that you want to share?
From my point of view, English in early childhood education enhance creativity and critical thinking. When children sing, act, or role play in English, they are not just learning vocabulary, but they are developing imagination, collaboration skill, and problem-solving abilities. I've seen children who initially struggled to speak English gradually gain confidence when lessons were interactive and playful. This shows that English can be both a language tool and a medium for holistic development.
That was a good point. For me, English is important because it's build communication skill from an early age. Young children are naturally curious and can observe new language quickly. Early exposure to English help them develop confidence, which is essential for future academic success. In addition, it allows children to access knowledge beyond their immediate environment, like stories, songs, and educational programs in English. The earlier they start, the more natural it becomes for them to use English in daily interaction. Mashitah, can I ask your question again? How can we help young children enjoy and feel confident by using English?
I have noticed that using songs, rhymes, and repetition makes English fun. When children sing songs repeatedly, they remember words and phrases without realizing they are learning. Visual aids and prop also make lessons meaningful and engaging. For example, using toy fruits or classroom objects during an activity helps students associate English words with real items, which makes learning more concrete and enjoyable. The other example is by reading Aki and Echo book, where there is an example of an interactive book as it was interesting to kids. There is live visual and audios that can let them repeat and read after it.
Thank you, Mashitah. Aminah, what do you think?
I think another effective strategy is integrating English into familiar routines, such as simple greetings, counting games, or daily comment can help children practice English consistently. For example, when the children came to the preschool, we can do some simple greetings like play a song. Hello, hello, how are you? How are you today? So this is allowing children to make choice or participate in decision making in English, like choosing which activity to do, also give them a sense of ownership and confidence. Over time, this small can make them enjoyable experience and help children feel comfortable using English naturally.
Thank you, Aminah. On my point of view, a way then can be used is through play-based learning, activity like role-playing, storytelling, and games allow children to use English naturally. When learning feels like play, children don't fear making mistakes. For example, having children act out a short story in English not only teach their language but also build confidence and teamwork. Praise and encouragement are crucial too, so children feel their effort are recognized and valued. For the last question, Mashitah, what personal or classroom experience change your attitude toward English?
For me, observing my classmates using songs and gestures to teach English was eye-opening. I realized that teaching English doesn't have to be rigid. It can be creative way, playful and interactive. Seeing children respond with excitement and curiosity made me think my approach and inspired me to experience with new method in my own teaching.
Thank you, Mashitah. Aminah, what about your experience?
My perspective changed after attending an online workshop for early childhood educator and conduct entirely in English. Initially, I felt intimidated, but engaging with the activities and discussion made me realize that English can be a tool for collaboration and continual learning. Since then, I've been motivated to improve my English skill and explore ways to make it enjoyable for children in the classroom.
Thank you. For me, one experience that changed my attitude was conducting a short activity entirely in English during teaching practice. Initially, I was nervous and unsure if the children would understand me, but as they actively participate and even intimate my price correctly, I realized that English can be engaged and fun. This moment gave me a new appreciation for the power of language in motivating and connecting with young learners. So, to summarize, learning English has had a significant impact on our journey as future teacher. It has opened new doors to research, opportunity, and effective classroom practice.
For me, it's also prepares children for future learning and global opportunities while helping them develop confidence, creativity, and curiosity. What about you, Aminah?
I think I hope our experience can inspire other teachers to create engaging and enjoyable English learning experience for young learners. Thank you for listening, and we encourage you to explore the fun side of teaching English.
Okay, that's all for our podcast today. So thank you, Aminah and Mashitah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.